You have a bit of a sigh of relief.
Oh man, a bit. I'm telling you what, I mean, all the way to the end. You know, when that tip, that tip off the miss,
Yeah.
I think that could go in. You know, and it went right to the front of the rim. I mean, back and forth those last 2 minutes. You know, I thought, you know, our players did a great job of executing our stuff down the stretch, and as they did. You know, each team I thought hit big shots, and you know, I mean, you saw it. There it was, comes down to the missed free throw.
That was a really ugly first half. I mean, I know I'm not telling you anything new there.
Yeah, that's what I told Darren when he walked by me at halftime. Yeah, I'm pretty good friends with Darren, and I said, "Boy, we set basketball back about 100 years, huh?" He said, "Maybe 200." You know, it was funny. It was like, you know, we both knew how ugly it was. You know, I'd like to credit defense, but you know, not when you're missing layups right and left. You know, missing wide open threes. You know, they were missing shots, we were missing shots, and you know, I told our guys at halftime, it's the good news is we're only down 4. I can't believe we're only down 4. You know, because it could be a lot worse than this. So at least we're in it. Try to fix some stuff up and you know, and battle. I said we got to keep playing defense. We got to keep rebounding because, you know, I thought a big key was keeping them off the O boards. I think they only finished with 6, and that is huge because they, you know, Boyd alone usually seems like she gets 6, and to keep her off the O boards was a huge feat for us tonight.
And then they started off, I mean, on fire. I mean, the second half too, it looked like they were going to come out and really start taking control. And where was the point where you felt things were kind of starting to go your way?
When the buzzer went off? I'm not kidding. You know, I mean, really, it was just hard. It was just hard. It was just like swimming against the tide. You know, it was just swimming, and you know, finally we got there. But you know, they did. They started off the game hot, 6-0, and then the second half, I think they scored 6 straight. You know, there it was again. You know, and I just thought we came out with no energy to start the game, and I don't know why. You know, I don't know if there was a hangover from the Boise. You know, what was going on, but you know, we got to learn. You got to bring it every night, and we're lucky we didn't get into a bigger hole because that's a talented team, and you know, they seemed to take their foot off the gas a little bit after they got ahead. You know, I can't speak for Darren though.
Talk about how the game turned around after about 45 minutes or so, going down that stretch. You guys closed the lead and obviously came back to tie it and win it. What was it? What were the differences that kind of brought you back into it?
You know, I thought we did a better job of attacking the rim and finishing at the rim. You know, I mean, we missed so many layups. You know, it reminded me of the preseason before we got into WAC play, and you know, we finally hit some open looks. I thought, you know, when Yinka made the 3, I thought it really kind of sparked everybody. You know, it seems like we make a couple of threes and our defense gets better, our energy level really gets up. You know, unfortunately, we're only making a couple of threes a game, so, you know, we better take advantage of that spurt of energy, that minuscule spurt of energy we're getting, because we're not making very many shots from beyond the arc right now.
Talk about Rochelle Clokey. She got in foul trouble early, but then second half she came out and it was a big spark.
Well, she is a big spark, you know, and we talked specifically yesterday at practice about staying out of foul trouble and not getting bad fouls, and, you know, here we are again in the same situation we were in Boise. You know, Rochelle just does a lot for us, you know, and she needs to stay on the floor, but like I said there too, we're not a one-person team, and if she's going to be getting in foul trouble and having to sit, then somebody else is going to have to step up, either 1 or 2, or, you know, some kind of committee action is going to have to take that 4 spot over and get out and play. You know, we shift Yinka over to the 4 and put Allie in, but that hurts us because Yinka's better, way better at that middle spot, especially in our zone, you know, and what we do offensively. So, you know, Clokey's got to be smarter with the fouls. There's no question, because she's a big mismatch in this league.
How about Helsham in the second half? Looked like she contributed.
Oh yeah. Natasha came in and really played well. You know, that's a couple games in a row now where she's come in and really given us some good minutes. You know, she's just going to need to understand she needs to finish at the rim when she gets to the rim and play with a little more confidence offensively. I think defensively and passing the ball, she's all right. It's just, I don't think she has a lot of confidence when she's shooting the ball, either from outside or getting the ball to the rim. And that's just a freshman, you know, who get up and down. I think once she hits a couple, then you're going to see her really, really take off from an offensive standpoint. But defensively, she battled in there. She battled in the paint. You know, she's trying to front Boyd, get around, And she just gets up and down the floor so well with us. She's great for Shar to play with because they both can run. You know, there's somebody to run with Shar, just like Shayna. You know, that combination's good. You know, we kind of slow down with the other guys a little bit.
Coach, I want to ask about Bianca. She was on fire early in the season, and she just could not seem to buy a shot here in the last 10 games. From a coach's perspective, what are you seeing as the problem?
Man, you know, I don't know. Once again, we addressed that as well yesterday. You know, I told her you can't hesitate when you shoot. You know, shooters, and that's what she is. She's a shooter, and a shooter can't worry about missing the last shot. You know, every shot's got to be the first one they take of the game in their own mind. You know, you gotta shoot the ball, and you gotta shoot it with confidence. And right now, as the slump continues, she just shoots the ball hesitantly, and you know, shooters can't do that. You know, they just can't do that, and it's mental with her. It's not her stroke. She can shoot the ball. She makes shots all the time in practice, and you know, she's got to stop overthinking what she's doing and just play the game. And ball comes to her, you know, shoot the ball. I told her to extend her range. You know, back when I had her at ISU, she used to shoot the ball 5 feet behind the arc. You know, now I said, now you act like you got to step right on the line. You have to step on the line. I said, you got plenty of range. Step back then and shoot the ball with confidence. And you know, we're waiting for her to regain that confidence and that stroke, because that will really help us.
It's a conference win. I think it puts you up at 5-8 now, a half game behind Boise State with 4 games left.
Yeah, we're right there. We need to protect our home floor. We got to get after it here with San Jose at Mem Gym, and we got to continue to try to inch our way up the standings. You know, that's the goal, is to continue to just inch our way up and then see what happens to everybody else. I mean, the league's so balanced, there's so much parity that anything can happen. Literally, anybody could beat anybody. You know, Fresno's undefeated, but they've had some close calls, and we'll see. I mean, obviously they've distanced themselves from everybody else, but you look below Fresno, and it's a free-for-all as far as matching up who's played who and who's beaten who.
I know after the Boise game you were pretty upset that the physicality, to quote Yanka, the physicality of that game. Were you happier with the way your kids addressed it tonight? It looked like the start New Mexico was going to start trying to hammer people, and I saw give and take going.
Yeah, oh yeah, there was, and I thought we stood up. I think some of our guys, took it to heart and said, you know what, we're not going to get pushed around, and we're going to, get back at some of that stuff. The game wasn't near as physical as the Boise game. It was a much cleaner basketball game as far as that stuff goes. There wasn't all that, football mentality coming on from New Mexico State. They came to play basketball, not football like Boise did. So, I think from that standpoint, it helped us as well. But when teams want to bring that kind of stuff, like Boise brought, and La Tech will bring it, Nevada does bring it, San Jose for sure is going to bring it, because that's the way it went down out in the Bay Area. We got to be ready for it, and we got to stand up like we did tonight.
Anything else, Coach? I have one quick question I'd like to ask you. That charge that Inca took right at the end for free throws put you up, were you, as a coach, looking at her saying, step in there and take the charge, or you're like, get out of the way because you're going to get a foul call on you?
No, we want her to take the charge. She got to defend, man. We just didn't want her to get out of the way. We were like, you know what? Go ahead, take it. Let's do it, and see what happens.